Today, we are going to talk about educational games in a broader sense. Not only digital games, but also tabletop and card games, and how all of them can be used as meaningful learning tools. When we talk about educational games, the key thing to remember is this: there are games designed with clear learning outcomes. They're not just about adding points, badges, or rewards on top of existing learning activities. That kind of surface layer is usually called gamification. Educational games go deeper. They are fully interactive learning experiences where the learning is built directly into the gameplay. The goal is to combine engagement with pedagogy so that learning feels natural, active, and motivating. In these games, learners don't just consume information. They explore, they experiment, they get feedback, and they solve problems. Learning happens through action. Let me pause here for a moment and ask you a question. What's the last digital game you played where you actually learned something? What's interesting is that many games that were not never designed as educational still teach us a lot. Strategy games teach planning and systems thinking. Narrative games build empathy. Survival games teach resource management. Educational digital games are really about making this learning process intentional. Instead of learning being a side effect, it becomes the main design goal. Now let's move on to the tools and platforms used to create these kinds of games. On one end, we have game engines. These allow developers to create complex, high quality digital games. They are very powerful, but they usually require coding skills and design expertise. Engines like these are great when you want to build rich, immersive experiences, but they also come with a higher technical barrier. On the other end, we have no code or low code tools. These tools make it possible to prototype game ideas very quickly without programming. They're especially useful in education where testing ideas early is often more important than building a polished final product. With these tools, you can focus on gameplay and learning mechanics instead of technical details. So far, we've mostly talked about digital games, but educational games are not limited to screens. Let's now look at tabletop and card games and how they compare. Card games are often a smaller subset within the tabletop or board games category, but they do have some very specific advantages, especially in educational context. One of the biggest strengths of card games is simplicity and portability. Cards are usually the main component, which means fewer materials, easier setup, and lower costs. Card games are typically easy to learn with a low barrier to entry. Rules can often be explained in just a few minutes. Because of this, onboarding is fast. Players can start playing and learning almost immediately. A simple deck of cards is lightweight and versatile and can be played almost anywhere, in classrooms, in workshops, or informal learning settings. Compared to complex board games, card games usually have a much simpler setup. Fewer components mean less time preparing the game and more time actually playing and learning. This makes them especially suitable for short sessions or situations where time and space are limited. No matter whether you're designing a digital game, a board game, or a card game, it's important to structure your ideas clearly. That's where a game design document comes in. An educational game design document usually starts with defining the target group. Who are the players? What is it that their age, background, and learning content? Next comes the problem statement, often framed as how might we question. These help you focus on a real learning challenge rather than jumping straight to solutions. Then you define your learning objectives. What do you want players to learn? What behaviors should they adopt? What should they feel? In educational content, this also often includes curriculum alignment. After that, you create a short elevator pitch, a single paragraph that clearly explains and sells your game idea. From there, you can list inspirations, describe the core gameplay loop, define game mechanics and rules, and finally develop the story, setting, and characters if your game includes narrative elements. To wrap this up, educational games, whether digital, tabletop, or card games, are powerful tools when they are designed with intention. When learning goals guide design decisions, games can become meaningful experiences that support understanding, motivation, and engagement.